Hey Scorpio, I just pulled cards for you, and honestly, what came through really got me thinking. Let me share what I found because this reading has some genuinely interesting layers to it. So I shuffled my deck asking about divine timing and reconnection for Scorpio, and the energy that came through was really specific. Not in a dramatic way, just in that quiet, knowing way where you can feel something shifting beneath the surface. You know that feeling. Let me walk you through what showed up. The first card that came out was the Hierophant. Now, this card always makes me pause because it is not just about tradition or conventional paths. When I see this in a reading about reconnection and divine timing, it speaks to something deeper. There is a spiritual contract at play here. The Hierophant represents sacred knowledge, the kind of wisdom that comes from walking a path that has been walked before. For you, Scorpio, this card is telling me that whatever reconnection is on the horizon is not random. It is part of a larger spiritual framework. Think about the relationships or connections in your life that felt significant, the ones that changed you in some fundamental way. The Hierophant suggests that there was a purpose to those connections, a lesson that needed to be learned or a bond that needed to form for reasons beyond what you could see at the time. This is about divine orchestration. The universe has been setting things up, arranging circumstances, moving pieces on a board you cannot fully see yet. What really struck me about this card in your reading is the emphasis on timing. The Hierophant is patient. This energy does not rush. It understands that some things need to unfold in their proper sequence. There are spiritual laws at work here, cosmic rhythms that cannot be forced or hurried. If you have been feeling frustrated by delays or wondering why certain connections have not materialized the way you hoped, this card is asking you to trust that the timing is more perfect than you realize. The Hierophant also brings in this element of learning and teaching. In the context of reconnection, this suggests that when this person or situation comes back into your life, both of you will have grown. Both of you will have learned something essential. The reconnection will not be a repeat of what came before. It will be an evolution, a meeting at a higher level of understanding. This card is really emphasizing that divine timing means both parties need to be ready. Both need to have done their inner work. Both need to have reached a certain level of spiritual maturity. There is also something here about seeking guidance or wisdom from a higher source. The Hierophant encourages you to trust your intuition, to pay attention to signs and synchronicities, to recognize that you are being guided even when the path is not clear. The answers you seek about this reconnection are available to you, but they require you to tune into a deeper frequency, to listen with your soul rather than just your mind. The second card is Ten of Wands. And okay, this one really adds context to everything. When I pulled this card, I immediately felt the weight of what you have been carrying, Scorpio. The Ten of Wands is about burden, responsibility, the feeling of being overwhelmed by everything you are trying to manage on your own. In a reading about divine timing and reconnection, this card is incredibly revealing. Here is what it is telling me. Part of the reason the timing has not been right yet is because you have been carrying too much. You have been in survival mode, pushing yourself to handle everything alone, taking on more than any one person should have to bear. The Ten of Wands shows someone who is so focused on getting to the finish line that they cannot see how heavy their load has become. They just keep moving forward because stopping feels impossible. But here's the thing about divine timing. Sometimes the universe makes you wait not because you are being punished or because something is wrong, but because you need to put some things down first. You need to release some of these burdens. You need to create space in your life, space in your energy, space in your heart for what is trying to come in. Think about it practically. If someone tried to reconnect with you right now, would you even have the capacity to fully engage with that connection? Or would it just become another thing on your already overflowing plate? The Ten of Wands is suggesting that the divine timing here is partly about you reaching a point where you are ready to receive, not just ready to want. This card is also about recognizing what is yours to carry and what is not. You might be holding on to responsibilities that do not belong to you, taking on other people's problems, trying to fix things that are not yours to fix. The reconnection you are waiting for cannot happen until you learn to set some of these burdens down. It is like the universe is saying you cannot pick up something new while your hands are full of old stuff. There is something really important here about self-imposed pressure too. The Ten of Wands often represents the weight we put on ourselves, the perfectionism, the need to prove something, the belief that we have to do it all alone. Part of your journey toward this reconnection involves learning that you do not have to be everything to everyone. You do not have to carry it all. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to prioritize your own well-being. When you start releasing these burdens, when you start honoring your own limits, when you start making space in your life, that is when the divine timing will click into place. The reconnection will come when you are lighter, when you have capacity, when you are not just surviving but actually living. The third card that came through is Ace of Pentacles. Now this shifted the energy significantly. After the weight of the Ten of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles feels like a breath of fresh air, like a promise, like the universe saying yes. There is something real and tangible coming. The Ace of Pentacles is about new beginnings in the material world. It is about opportunities, resources, stability, something solid you can build on. In the context of your question about reconnection and divine timing, this card is incredibly hopeful. It suggests that what is coming is not just an emotional reunion or a spiritual connection. It is something that will have real-world impact, something you can touch and feel and build a life around. This card tells me that the reconnection you are waiting for will bring practical benefits into your life. It might open doors professionally, it might create financial opportunities, it might establish a foundation for something lasting and secure. The Ace of Pentacles is the universe offering you a seed, a beginning, a chance to plant something that will grow into abundance. What I find really beautiful about this card showing up here is that it confirms the divine timing aspect. Aces are always about perfect timing, about the universe presenting an opportunity at exactly the right moment. The Ace of Pentacles says that when this reconnection happens, conditions will be right for it to actually manifest into something real. It will not just be a fleeting moment or a nostalgic conversation. It will be the start of something substantial. This card also speaks to worthiness and value. The Ace of Pentacles reminds you that you deserve solid, reliable, valuable connections. You deserve relationships that add to your life in concrete ways, that support your goals and dreams, that help you build the life you truly want. The divine timing here is partly about you recognizing your own worth, about you being ready to receive something of genuine value rather than settling for less. There is also a message here about being grounded and practical. The Ace of Pentacles is asking you to approach this potential reconnection with both your heart and your head. Yes, there may be emotional and spiritual components, but also pay attention to the practical aspects. Does this connection support your real-world goals? Does it add stability to your life or create chaos? Does it help you build or does it tear down? The presence of this card suggests that the reconnection will pass those practical tests. It will be something worth investing in, something that has the potential to grow and develop over time. The divine timing is ensuring that when this opportunity arrives, you will be ready to nurture it, to give it what it needs to flourish. The fourth card is Queen of Wands, and this energy is so powerful for you, Scorpio. The Queen of Wands is confident, magnetic, creative, absolutely certain of her own worth. She walks into any room and owns it. She knows who she is and makes no apologies for it. In your reading about divine timing and reconnection, this card is speaking directly to who you are becoming. Here is what the Queen of Wands is telling me. The divine timing is waiting for you to fully step into your power. It is waiting for you to embody this queen energy, to own your magnetism, to stop diminishing yourself, to recognize that you are absolutely enough exactly as you are. The reconnection will happen when you are vibrating at this frequency, when you are fully in your Queen of Wands energy. This card suggests that part of the waiting period has been about your own transformation. You have been growing, evolving, discovering layers of yourself you did not know existed. You have been learning to trust your intuition, to honor your creativity, to stand in your authenticity. All of this has been necessary preparation for what is coming. The Queen of Wands is also incredibly independent. She does not need anyone to complete her. She is whole on her own. This is such an important message about divine timing. The reconnection will not happen when you are desperately seeking it, when you are feeling incomplete without it. It will happen when you are full, when you are thriving, when you are living your life so completely that this person or situation gets drawn into your orbit by the sheer force of your energy. There is something here about attraction and magnetism. The Queen of Wands does not chase. She radiates and things come to her. When you embody this energy, when you are fully living in your power and purpose, the reconnection will be inevitable. It will be like two magnets finally coming into alignment. The divine timing is about both parties reaching the right energetic frequency. This card also speaks to passion and enthusiasm. The Queen of Wands approaches life with genuine excitement. She pursues her interests, develops her talents, invests in what lights her up. The message here is to focus on your own joy, your own passions, your own creative expression. As you do this, as you become more fully yourself, you create the conditions for the reconnection to occur naturally. The Queen of Wands is telling you that you do not need to force anything or manipulate circumstances. You just need to be yourself in the fullest, most authentic way possible. When you do that, divine timing takes care of the rest. Card 5 is the Emperor. This card brings in an energy of structure, authority, stability, and solid foundations. When I see the Emperor in a reading about divine timing, it reinforces that there is a plan, a framework, an order to how things are unfolding. Nothing is random. Everything is being built according to a larger design. The Emperor represents masculine energy in its most mature form. This is about taking responsibility, creating stability, establishing boundaries, building something that lasts. In the context of your reading, this card suggests that the reconnection will involve or require these qualities. Either you need to embody more of this energy, or the person you are reconnecting with carries this energy, or the situation itself will demand this level of maturity and structure. What really stands out to me about the Emperor here is the emphasis on foundation. This card does not do anything halfway or temporary. The Emperor builds to last. He creates systems and structures that can weather storms. He thinks long-term. In terms of divine timing, this tells me that the wait has been about ensuring that when this reconnection happens, it will be built on solid ground. The Emperor also represents authority and taking charge of your life. This card is asking you to step into your own authority, to stop waiting for permission or validation from others, to recognize that you have the power to create the life you want. Part of the divine timing here involves you claiming your power, setting clear boundaries, knowing what you will and will not accept. There is something about emotional maturity here too. The Emperor has done his inner work. He knows himself. He does not react from unhealed wounds or unconscious patterns. He responds from a place of centered wisdom. The divine timing is waiting for both parties in this potential reconnection to reach this level of emotional maturity, where they can come together as two whole, healed individuals rather than two wounded people seeking completion in each other. The Emperor also brings a message about patience and persistence. He understands that worthwhile things take time to build. He does not give up when things get difficult. He stays committed to the vision. This is encouragement for you, Scorpio. The divine timing may feel slow, but it is purposeful. Stay committed to your own growth. Keep building your life. Trust that the foundation being created will support everything you truly want. This card also suggests that when the reconnection happens, it will be on stable ground. It will not be chaotic or uncertain. There will be clarity, commitment, a sense of direction. The Emperor energy ensures that what is being built is real and lasting. The sixth card is Four of Swords, and this one really speaks to where you are right now. The Four of Swords is about rest, recuperation, taking a pause to integrate everything you have been through. It is the card of necessary withdrawal, of stepping back to heal and recharge. In your reading about divine timing, this card is so significant. It is saying that right now, in this moment, you are in a period of rest and integration. The divine timing has you in a pause, not because nothing is happening, but because you need this time to heal, to process, to prepare internally for what is coming. The Four of Swords often shows up when someone has been through a challenging period and needs to recover. It suggests that you have been through something intense, whether that is emotional turmoil, a difficult ending, a period of struggle or stress. The divine timing is giving you space to heal from that before the next chapter begins. This card is also about mental clarity and perspective. When you are in the thick of things, it is hard to see clearly. The Four of Swords represents stepping back far enough to gain perspective, to understand what happened, to process your emotions and thoughts, to make sense of your experiences. This period of reflection is essential preparation for the reconnection. What I find really important about this card is that it reminds you that rest is not wasted time. In our culture, we are so focused on action, on doing, on making things happen. But the Four of Swords says that sometimes the most productive thing you can do is rest, reflect, and restore your energy. The divine timing includes these periods of apparent inactivity because they serve a crucial purpose. This card also suggests that you might be in a contemplative phase, thinking deeply about what you want, who you are, where you are going. This internal work is preparing you for the reconnection in ways you might not fully realize. You are clarifying your values, understanding your needs, recognizing your patterns. All of this creates the foundation for a healthier, more conscious connection when the time comes. The Four of Swords can also indicate that you are protecting your energy right now, being selective about what you engage with, creating boundaries around your peace. This is so important. The divine timing is teaching you that you do not owe your energy to everyone and everything. You are allowed to prioritize your own healing and well-being. When this card shows up, it often means that the period of rest is necessary before something active begins. It is the calm before the movement. So trust that this pause serves a purpose. When the time is right, things will begin to move again. But for now, honor the need for rest and integration. Card 7 is Page of Cups. This card just shifted the energy into something really tender and hopeful. The Page of Cups is about emotional openness, creative inspiration, intuitive messages, and new emotional beginnings. It carries this quality of innocent wonder, of being willing to feel deeply without jadedness or cynicism. In your reading about reconnection and divine timing, the Page of Cups is incredibly significant. This card often represents messages, particularly emotional or intuitive ones. It suggests that communication is coming, that there will be some kind of reaching out, some expression of feelings that has been held back. The Page of Cups is the first tentative step toward emotional connection. What I love about this card is its sincerity. The Page of Cups is genuine in their feelings. There is no manipulation or game playing. When this energy shows up, it is real. So if this reconnection involves someone reaching out to you, know that it will be from a place of authentic emotion. They will be genuinely expressing what they feel, taking a vulnerable step toward connection. The Page of Cups also represents your own emotional openness. Part of the divine timing here is about you being ready to receive emotional communication with an open heart. Not guarded, not skeptical, not protecting yourself so thoroughly that nothing can get in. The Page of Cups asks you to be willing to feel, to hope, to be moved by genuine emotion. This card often appears when there is creative or intuitive energy flowing. You might find yourself being more in touch with your feelings, having dreams or intuitive hits about the situation, feeling inspired to express yourself creatively. Pay attention to these impulses. The Page of Cups is telling you that your intuition is speaking to you, giving you information about the timing and nature of this reconnection. There is also something youthful and fresh about this card. The Page of Cups suggests that the reconnection will feel like a new beginning, not a rehashing of old patterns. Even if it is with someone from your past, the energy will be different, lighter, more open. Both parties will approach it with willingness to start fresh, rather than carrying old baggage. The Page of Cups is also about being emotionally curious rather than emotionally certain. It is about exploring feelings as they arise rather than having everything figured out in advance. This is part of the divine timing message. Let the reconnection unfold organically. Let feelings emerge naturally. Do not try to control or predict how it will go. Be present with what is actually happening rather than what you think should happen. This card brings such a sweet, hopeful energy. It says that emotional connection is possible, that vulnerability can be beautiful, that opening your heart is worth the risk. The divine timing is preparing you for this level of emotional availability. The 8th card is the Moon. Now this card adds a whole layer of depth and mystery to your reading. The Moon is about intuition, the subconscious, hidden things, illusions, and the journey through uncertainty. It is one of the most mystical cards in the tarot, representing that liminal space between knowing and not knowing. In your reading about divine timing and reconnection, the Moon is really significant. It suggests that not everything about this situation is clear yet. There are still hidden elements, things beneath the surface, truths that have not fully emerged into consciousness. The divine timing involves this period of uncertainty, this time of moving through fog without complete clarity. The Moon can feel uncomfortable because we want answers. We want to know how things will turn out. We want certainty. But the Moon says that sometimes the journey requires us to move forward without that certainty, to trust our intuition even when we cannot see the full picture. Part of your spiritual growth here involves learning to be okay with not knowing, learning to trust the process even when it is mysterious. This card also speaks to the subconscious realm. There may be fears, old patterns, unconscious beliefs that are influencing the situation in ways you are not fully aware of. The Moon is illuminating these hidden aspects, bringing them to the surface so they can be acknowledged and worked through. This is part of the divine timing. Before the reconnection can happen in a healthy way, these unconscious elements need to be brought into the light. The moon is also deeply connected to dreams and intuition. You might be receiving guidance about this situation through your dreams, through synchronicities, through intuitive knowing that you cannot quite explain logically. Trust these messages. The moon is telling you that your intuition knows more than your conscious mind does right now. Pay attention to what you sense and feel, even if you cannot rationally explain it. There is also something about cycles here. The moon waxes and wanes, appears and disappears. This suggests that the situation may have its own cycles, periods of closeness followed by distance, times of clarity followed by confusion. The divine timing includes these cycles. They are not a sign that something is wrong. They are part of the natural rhythm of this connection. The moon can also indicate that there are illusions or misunderstandings that need to be cleared. Perhaps you are not seeing the situation completely accurately, or perhaps the other person is not being fully transparent. The divine timing is allowing these illusions to dissolve gradually so that when the reconnection happens, it will be based on truth rather than fantasy. This card asks you to be patient with the mystery, to trust that things will become clear in their own time. The moon reminds you that not everything needs to be understood immediately. Some things need to be felt and experienced before they can be intellectually grasped. The 9th card is Six of Cups. This card brings in such a specific energy around nostalgia, past connections, childhood innocence, and emotional healing. The Six of Cups often appears when there is a connection to the past, whether that is a person from your past, a return to something familiar, or a healing of old memories. In your reading about reconnection, the Six of Cups is incredibly direct. This card literally represents reconnection with someone or something from your past. It confirms that what you are sensing or hoping for has validity. There is genuine potential for a meaningful reconnection with someone who has been part of your history. What makes the Six of Cups so interesting is the quality of emotion it carries. This is not passionate intensity or dramatic romance. It is something gentler, sweeter, more tender. The Six of Cups represents connections that have genuine care and affection, where there is a sense of safety and familiarity. When this reconnection happens, it will feel like coming home in some way. This card also speaks to healing. Often, the Six of Cups appears when there is an opportunity to heal old wounds, to revisit past pain with greater wisdom and compassion, to make peace with what was. Part of the divine timing here is about both parties having done enough healing work that they can reconnect from a healthier place. The reconnection itself can be part of the healing process. The Six of Cups is associated with innocence and purity of emotion. It suggests that despite whatever complexity or pain may have existed in the past, there is still something pure at the core of this connection. There is genuine goodwill, authentic care, real affection that never completely went away. The divine timing is allowing this purity to re-emerge once the complications and wounds have been addressed. This card can also represent gifts from the past coming back around. Maybe this person brings something back into your life that you thought you had lost, whether that is a quality, an opportunity, a way of being. Maybe the reconnection helps you recover parts of yourself that got buried. The Six of Cups says that the past is not something to escape from, but something to integrate and heal. There is also a message here about simple joys and authentic connection. The Six of Cups is not about impressing anyone or playing roles. It is about genuine moments of connection, simple pleasures shared, being able to be yourself without pretense. The divine timing is preparing you for this kind of authentic relating. This card confirms that the reconnection is real, that it matters, that it has the potential to bring sweetness and healing into your life. Trust what you are feeling about this. The Six of Cups validates your intuition that this connection is worth honoring. The 10th and final card is Two of Wands. This card is about vision, planning, looking toward the future, making choices about which direction to take. The Two of Wands shows someone standing at a crossroads, holding the world in their hands, contemplating possibilities. In your reading about divine timing and reconnection, the Two of Wands is the perfect closing card because it speaks to what comes next. After all the healing, the waiting, the inner work, the divine orchestration, there will come a moment of choice. You will need to decide which path you want to take. The Two of Wands suggests that the reconnection will present options. It will open up possibilities that did not exist before. You will have a choice about how much to invest, how deeply to engage, which direction to take things. The divine timing has been preparing you to make this choice from a place of clarity and wisdom, rather than from need or fear. This card also speaks to partnership and collaboration. The Two of Wands often indicates that working together, combining resources and visions, creates something greater than either person could create alone. When this reconnection happens, there is potential for true partnership, for building something meaningful together. What I find really important about this card is the emphasis on forward movement. The Two of Wands is not about staying stuck in the past or repeating old patterns. It is about taking what was valuable from the past and using it to create something new. The reconnection will be oriented toward the future, toward possibility, toward growth. The Two of Wands also requires courage. Standing at a crossroads always involves some level of risk. You cannot know for certain how things will turn out. But the Two of Wands says that the potential rewards are worth the risk. The vision of what could be is compelling enough to take that step into the unknown. This card suggests that you will have clarity about your own desires and intentions. You will know what you want, what you are willing to offer, what you need in return. This clarity is part of what the divine timing has been cultivating. The Two of Wands does not make decisions from confusion or desperation. It chooses from a place of vision and purpose. The presence of this card at the end of your reading is really encouraging. It says that all the waiting, all the inner work, all the divine orchestration is leading somewhere. It is leading to a moment of choice, a moment of possibility, a moment where you get to actively participate in creating your future. So Scorpio, looking at all these cards together, here is what I am seeing about divine timing and reconnection for you. The universe has been orchestrating something significant. The timing has been precise, allowing for necessary healing, growth, and preparation. You have been carrying heavy burdens, and the divine timing has been waiting for you to put some of those down, to create space for what wants to come in. You are stepping into your power, embodying that Queen of Wands energy, becoming magnetic and fully yourself. The reconnection that is coming is built on solid foundation. It is not a repeat of old patterns, but something that has evolved. Both parties have been doing their own work, reaching new levels of maturity and understanding. There will be genuine communication, tender and authentic. The mystery and uncertainty you have been feeling are part of the journey, helping you develop trust in the process. This is truly a reconnection with someone from your past, something that carries sweetness and healing potential, and ultimately, you will have a choice. The divine timing is preparing you to make that choice from your highest self, to choose based on vision and possibility, rather than fear or lack. Whatever unfolds will be oriented toward building something real and lasting. Trust where you are right now. Trust the timing. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should.